学过，我找到农村的钱呢，不刚找人家那个，我的最大。
这个
这个钱个不是刚找的那个。
这找着梦嘞，你刚找到不？
找我不怎么学啊。
我学，还不要能费钱呢。那个我找家的我等没个。当时呢，
我只讲
有路娘老有cây有tàu mùa,有hai chữ tặng sau này luôn cho công ty nè. Có nhang một tiền có lúc một ly nè.
Nhắc thôi nhớ tàu bây giờ.
Nhớ tàu. Hai vô plù cho nên vô plù thì hai vô nhang cho tẩy tuồng. Gì lúc một ly. Chụp về. Một phải tao lên.
Hay là đường nhảy phải để chết một chút sang vòng.
Tí chỗ là tỏ trẻ.
Hết nữa, chết sang bên phải.
Thì nó mặc còn một tàu rong.
Tăng cái nhập tăng cái bữa chồng cho cuộc sống rồi đó.
Rồi bây giờ khoa bây giờ xe.
Bây giờ thô thay cho dòng cầu thôi nào bé. Một số rồi nhau ha.
Lại mà
nhau hay.
Có gì.
Tuần này mà đi dòng cầu đó.
Ở bên nhau nó có tại bây giờ. Số. Bây giờ cho nó gì bé xong bé để phát cho nó nè nó tại cho bé mà lên một trò hỗ trong sala tại cho bé một hôm nam trò trên nó lồng thì tía
in Malaysia organized some major protests in Malaysia that eventually contributed to the change of government in Malaysia in 2018 for the first time in our history as an independent nation. So since then I became the chairperson of PERSE 2018 until 2023 when I stepped down. So our focus really is more on political institutional reform, parliamentary reform, electoral reform. But human rights certainly cannot be something that we are not interested about. All this reform is to ensure that there is protection of human rights and dignity in our country. So when it comes to any sort of violation, including transnational repression, is an area of interest that we want to look at. So today I will be reporting on some of the incidences of transnational repression I saw on the chart presented by Laura just now. Very informative presentation. We had 6 incidents of DNR in Malaysia, and but that is really far from the champion Thailand that has 60 over, I think. So we are not a safe place, Malaysia, for those who are seeking asylum, but certainly Thailand is far from safe. So I'll be reporting on that.
ý chỗ đầu tiên á, của ta chỉ tôi chỉ tao muốn sợ là thả lô đó này đi, giờ lúc sợ nó chỉ của so là thế chỉ của lần chỉ này sẽ là số tu là thả lô mình chỉ, nó nói chỉ bây giờ chỉ cái tim mong nhà là bây của tôi bây lên, sẽ chỉ tuần tại bây giờ chỉ mong thon nát tôi cho tôi cùng tôi lúc trong sala, đồng thời sẽ chỉ mua đồng đầu lúc tết chỉ tôi thả cho cho tên mình rồi sẽ xịn nó, bây giờ tên mình, cho cáiว่าtôi cho nhau là thấy tết thì nó đâu vậy. Cái lần chỉ này sẽ số tụi mình chỉ thay được bây giờ số tụi tao bao, liên đó sự, thì thì tỏ ca một cái sẽ là ta một thể đã chỉ thả dòng bia nó là cũng một bia là bia nó chỉ trong nó là thảm chỉ là bây giờ số tụi tao bao thế thì nó cũng mua chơi tiệc với họ cái thì tao tôi cũng tiền thì nó bỏ tao từ tôi thì chỉ một cái dành dành cho cái ổn định nó rồi cho nó đi thế nó nè những chuyện sau số tụi linh đã mình chỉ bây tôi linh đã mua linh cho nó là cũng thay được bây giờ sai thế ê sai không lo nữa so not done nó cá cần gọi cái gì
One more little probe while I give notice to Prabhat and I'm going to come to it next. You also mentioned official narratives, government narratives. Tell us, what are these narratives and how are they being thrown at the public?
I think so far, from my own perspective, they are trying to, I think unlike during the conflicts, what the government has been doing is to make sure that you prevent the anger from erupting in Bangkok that would push towards more open confrontation, including a new round of fighting. So we cannot afford a new round of fighting, and the government understands it because economically, militarily, we are too small. But the thing is that when the public is too overwhelming with nationalistic sentiment, you cannot say, okay, I'm more conciliatory, but I need to show that I am firm in a position that I stand against our neighbor because they are certain through occupation or whatever they can call, and then they use international law. So they keep showing the position that they are staying strong. They are demanding whatever they call the land based on the French and thiab map back in the 1904, 1907. So the position is there, and then defending the official position means you cannot show the weakness when you confront with the bigger neighbor. But I think they understand the fact that they could not afford the round of fighting. But the only thing is you have two fronts of fighting back. The public that only want you to do something harder to Thailand, and then the other side is that to make sure that the Thailand will not consider us as the antagonistic that push it back to the the conflict era when people are demanding for fighting. So it's just like they are in a very hard position, a dilemma, I could say.
Okay, over to you, Prabhat. About 3/4 of the colleagues in the room are from the region, not from Thailand or based in Thailand, and beyond. Just before you kick off, just give us a sense. What's the mood here in Thailand on the conflict?
Well, I revert back to James and the fact that Asia Center feel that it's a sensitive issue to the point where we could not, or I was literally told not to advertise this meeting. This is how sensitive it is. My reading is probably you were concerned that our Cambodian speaker who has been invited here and had the courage to come here may face some difficulties. That, I think, in a nutshell, speaks volume. I was on the taxi 2 evenings ago back to my flat, and the driver was playing some YouTube or Facebook content where there were 3 Thais taking turns severely criticizing the government, claiming that the current government is about to reopen the border. Okay, and I haven't heard anything, there's nothing. So we're dealing with this perpetuations of the conflict on the Thai side. Unlike the Cambodian side, which have seen the light, I'm pleased to hear that, at least from his view, the Cambodian government think that they cannot afford a third conflict. The tragedy in Thailand is that I think many Thais feel we can and even should afford a third conflict. So this is how bad it is. As I said, I'm really a minority. I did count it during the height of the conflicts between, or the brief wars between Thailand and Cambodia. There were only 3 Thai journalists of prominence who came out publicly and saying that we should stop the war. This is silly. Let's try to find a way to resolve the conflicts peacefully. And I'm the only one who's fully employed. The other one is Bai Tong Hang, I would name his name, is basically retired and doing his own YouTube, supporting the opposition People's Party. And the third one was my former colleague back when I was still with the nation, only 3. Imagine that. Let me just put it this way. I know for certain that some of the younger Thai journalists disapprove and oppose what the government have done. But they're just junior journalists or middle-level journalists. And the way it works here is that if you go against the stance of the firm or the media organizations, then you risk sacrificing your future career at the news organization. If they are pro-government, anti-Cambodia, pro-war, and suddenly you take to your own Facebook or X account to post something against the war, call for peace, then you'll be ostracized. So that's how bad the situation is. It has spread like cancer, to the mainstream society. And I'm a little confused because I thought when Jim sent me the invitation and all that, he wants me to touch upon the religious side.
I will shortly.
Okay, so we will, and that's even more shocking, but I'll keep that for whenever he asks me about that. So the situation hasn't improved. Some Thais call for a 500 years closure of the Thai-Cambodian border. Let me just end this answer by saying that 2 days ago I quoted Cambodian as seeker preference and on its on my Facebook. I can still read it. I posted both in Thai and English. The news that 3 factories along the Cambodian side of the Thai-Cambodia border in the town or city of Poi Pet, that's in Cambodia by the way, will shut down in 3 factories. And I noticed the comment sections following the news item on Cambodia. And there were some Thais who posted messages saying, as in English, congratulations, laughing emojis, all this schadenfreude, what the German English term, expressing joy in the sufferings of the others. So about 4,000 might lose their job. The irony being this, I don't know if they even care to read or not, or even care. One of the 3 companies or factory listed on the news item by Cambodians are actually Thai-owned factory, which supplies, some parts for the global footwear maker. That's how mad they have become.
But what's driving this compulsion and hunger for war? The Thai psyche. Tell us.
Wow! I just wrote a column my weekly column yesterday, tinkling with the possibility that Thailand may be entering a second lost decade as a society. Okay, amongst the major ASEAN economies, 6 of them, including Indonesia, Malaysia, well, not including Cambodia because it's a much smaller economy, the Thai second quarter GDP growth is the lowest amongst these 6 nations in ASEAN. And I think it stood at 1.9%. It was just released a few days ago. While Vietnam, that's like 8-point-something%. Okay, we're even behind the Philippines and God knows how many more countries. That's just one aspect. There is this feeling that Thailand is somehow stagnated after a lost decade since the coup in 2014. You know, the coup leader literally ruled Thailand for 9 years, so 2014 until 2023, and we have 2 or 3 prime ministers in a short space of 2 or 3 years. So it's very unstable. And my fear is that what can you look forward to? Thai tourism is still relatively good, but it went down. The arrival in the first 6 months since the beginning of the year went down, I think 2.9%. While Vietnam, I think the growth, it experienced a growth of 10% plus. So maybe, this is the only pride fighting with a much smaller country. An unfair fight where, no matter what, you look at the size, population size, the economy size, the fact that Cambodia doesn't have a functioning air force, while the Thai cheers when they sent their F-16 to bomb Cambodia. This is insanity. I should even think that it has become the only pride of the ultra-nationalists, the only thing they were fixating about. I hope I'm...
What would you do if the birds stopped to sing? What would you say if everybody came to love, to peace, to day?
Telling lies that only deceive. Hey, yeah. Are we right to believe? Hey, yeah. There's a future for us now. Hey, yeah. There must be a way somehow.
What would you do if the birds stopped to sing? What would you say if everybody came in to love, to
If you have to take away, upon my knees I pray the only words that I can say. Aren't you love to peace today?
every life you take away? Upon my knees I pray the only words that I can say. I'm to love, to peace today. Every life you take away. Upon my knees I pray the only words that I can say. I'm to love, to peace today. Every life you take away. Upon my knees I pray the only words that I can say. I'm to love, to peace today. What would you do?
Tại sao nói chứ cái lòng treo đồ lợn nào em video đó lên cho nó mà chơi chống cơ lên này cái tao nó rửa giang tao nó nó cũng khó cho tao nói cái này mới nhà nhon tao cả tao kịp cái hả cô ta cố sẽ bạn nó thấy thì nó cố sẽ tại đây một chút lâu không nó nè các bạn bạn nó thấy tại đây một chút lâu thiếu nó nè bên trên bên trong bữa tỷ số nó thiếu bữa tỷ số nó luôn phía mà đây một đôi nặng nó muốn nè là cái nào đâu sẽ thì họ bây giờ chơi không nó nè đó tôi lon nà nhà có tuân thôi á chơi chó nó ôi dồi trộm đồ luôn